Time-sensitive promo alert. As of today, Football Manager 20 is the daily deal on CD keys. It means if you're in the EU, you can pick it up for £25.39, including the beta, so you could be playing it right now today. If you haven't got FM20 yet, the link to my link to CD keys is down in the description below. I'd massively appreciate you buying it through that link. You get it for the cheapest price I've seen available anywhere now, £25.39. But also, it supports the channel as well. So it's win-win for everybody. If you're in the rest of the world, it's not quite as cheap, but it's still pretty cheap. The link to that is down in the description below. And either way, massively appreciate you supporting the channel. Tell your mates about it. It's proper cheap. Hello and welcome to part 18 of my FM20 beta save with Manchester United. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have a Champions League knockout round game away against Shakhtar and the Carabao Cup Final against Manchester City. Since you were last with me, a lot of time has passed. Well, not a lot. I mean, we were there, weren't we? We've done the whole of January. And as you can see, January has treated us really rather well with some outstanding results in January and also some more players arriving at the club. The Premier League looks like this. We are top of the Premier League. 27 games played, 67 points on the board. Liverpool 5 points behind us. City another 4 points behind them. Harry Kane is still joint second in the top scorers charts in the Premier League, despite me not knowing how to use him, apparently. And yes, I have spent more money. There are a few people in the comments who don't like it when I make unrealistic transfers for Manchester United, or who don't like the fact that I'm focusing on buying really good players now rather than youth development. So just to get that one out the way early on, firstly, of course these transfers are realistic. Manchester United have loads of money. They're buying the best players in the world. That seems realistic to me. It's just a different philosophy to what Manchester United might follow in real life. Secondly, this isn't a youth development save. I know there's a lot of people who aren't happy that I'm not really playing Mason Greenwood at all. I'm not playing Erling Haaland at all. But these are kids who will get good at some point. We've got a good chance of winning the Champions League this year. And then that's the series over once the Champions League is won. So if it was a youth development save, then I'd be completely on board with what you're saying about I should be developing these great youngsters that we've got. But the goal of the save is to win the Champions League as quickly as possible and get Manchester United back to their former glory. You don't do that through youth development. Or you can, but it won't be as quick. We're in our second season and we could win everything. So that would be nice. So in that vein, more transfers, quite a few more. We already had James Maddison arranged to come in from Leicester for 29 million. There's been so much other stuff going on that he's not even getting a look in. So another young English player. I mean, to be honest, we're probably going to move him on in the summer if I'm still here, if we haven't won the Champions League, because so much other stuff has gone on that he's just not going to fit in. We've brought our new backup goalkeeper, Dominik Livakovic, who is much better than Romero was, almost as good as David De Gea. Yes, it's a lot of money for a backup goalkeeper, but they gave me another £100 million to spend in January. That's one thing I have forgot to mention. Got to like December the 20th and they said, you know what, Kev? We know you've got 50 million to spend already. Here, have another £100 million. Okay, I'll spend that. So we did. We went out and signed Everton, who is one of the ones who people said I should have signed in the summer. I have now signed him. You were right. I was wrong. I'm not always right. Should have signed him in the summer. 7 appearances, 4 goals, 7.57 rating. Everton is a good player. We've also got Lisandro Martinez, who's come in from Ajax as another option for us at centre-back, 23-year-old Argentinian international. Not quite as good as Ruben Diaz, but certainly better than Maguire, Lindelof, Tuanzebe, all the other centre-backs that we've got at the club. We brought in so many players. He's not in my Champions League squad, though. Couldn't fit him in. Dani Olmo has arrived, 22-year-old Spanish under-21 international, who is almost as good as Christian Eriksen as an attacking midfielder, almost as good as Paul Pogba as a central midfielder. This lad's only 22, and again, 8 appearances, 2 goals, 4 assists, a 7.84 average rating. Dani Olmo, he's a good player, and he's a large part of the reason why James Maddison isn't getting a look in at all. And then I'll admit this one was a bit of a waste. I just wanted another right back. We had Wan-Bissaka and Dalot, who are both young and not quite up there ability-wise with the rest of the squad, I don't think. So I thought, let's go get Thomas Meunier. And it turns out, you know what? He's not as good as Wan-Bissaka, according to this fitness coach who only has 10 for judging ability. But yeah, whoever we talk to, I think I got this one wrong. And I do get them wrong occasionally. But he's a decent backup player to have. And then part of funding that, obviously we did get the extra money in, but we have sold some players as well. So we've let Andreas Pereira, he's gone to Galatasaray, 25 years old. There's just no room for him in the squad with these new players who've come in. Daniel James has gone to Schalke for 23 million. Again, at 23 years old, that's the same age as Everton. All right, Everton's 24. But you get my point. Everton's come in and done that immediately. Daniel James, who plays in the same position, has been here for 2 years, and he might have developed into something that's any good, but we've swapped him for someone who was already any good. So that's Kev's short-term thinking. And then there's a couple more players who've gone out on loan as well. So our team report at the moment, our squad depth, which is actually what I'm trying to do, we are very solid in lots of positions. Another player who I might admit I might have been wrong about, Anthony Martial, scoring goals for fun at Juventus. He joins us, but he comes back in the summer, and I make a decision then about whether to reintegrate him. But obviously part of reintegrating him will involve pushing Haaland and Greenwood further down the pecking order. You've got to decide who your favourites are, everybody. You can't have 5 strikers all as your favourites. Kev, you should be playing all 6 of these strikers more. But yeah, he's done all right, but I don't, like I said before, I don't know how he fits into the system, but we're very strong in all our attacking midfield positions now, very strong in central mid. We're very strong everywhere. We have top quality players in all positions now. This is a team that if it doesn't win the Champions League this year, I think we have every right to be a little bit disappointed. So on that note, let's go and play a Champions League game. It's the first knockout round game away against Shakhtar, and this is the team we're putting out there. We're going with De Gea in goal, a back four of Gaia, Maguire, Ruben Diaz and Wan-Bissaka, Pogba and Kessie in midfield, Rashford, Olmo and Gnabry behind Edouard up front. Where's Harry Kane, I hear you cry? And I respond with, I picked this team on Friday. I'm recording this on Sunday. I don't know where Harry Kane is. Harry Kane has got sprained ankle ligaments. He's going to be out for 12 days. So that's where Harry Kane is. But as you can see, some of these new signings, there's quite a few of them who aren't actually registered for this squad. And some that I've had to unregister to make room for the likes of Olmo to come in. So Martinez, Meunier, Maddison, Tuanzebe, Haaland, none of them are in my Champions League squad now. So it's not ideal, but I still think as a squad, I genuinely think if we get results run our way, we could win every competition we're still in, because I think this team is that good, and we just need to make sure we haven't messed up dynamics and things. What is going on with that pitch? That looks hideous. A team such as ours should be winning this with no problems at all. I'm looking at that pitch, thinking perhaps we should have done our back five counter-attacking system, because I don't know that the conditions are conducive to tiki-taka. What is that? We're going to get some legs broken today, aren't we? I've never seen a pitch look like that. Is that fog or is that ice? Either way, that shouldn't be on a football pitch. Is it snow? What? I want to go home. This is horrible. I've just done a long speech about how we should win everything we're still in, and now we're in a hostile environment like this, and I'm very afraid about this match. This looks like the kind of conditions where, I mean, we shouldn't be playing tiki-taka, should we? I'm going to give it 10 more minutes and then potentially bring on another centre-back and switch the system up. If we got one on the bench, we haven't. Paul Pogba might be playing centre-back. We might be switching back to our, Wan-Bissaka. Ease off your challenges, because Meunier is not in our Champions League squad. We do still have Dallows in the Champions League squad. I'm thinking about it. I perhaps should have swapped those two over. But, no, there was a reason I couldn't, because you can only make 3 changes, can't you? You don't have unlimited swaps to make in January. You can only take 3 players out and put 3 players in. So that one would have been a pointless one when we had players like Olmo and Everton that I wanted to get in because of just how well they've started their Manchester United careers. Right, here's Gaia down the left-hand side. There's nobody here, by the way. Where are all the fans? This is a Champions League knockout round game. Edouard's just put us 1-0 up, I think. We're going over to the little telly. I think we've had that disallowed. Gnabry offside, apparently. I don't really... Where's he in this process to be offside? Okay, there. I'll allow it. Where is everybody? Why is nobody here? I understand why we haven't had many people travel, because it's far away and doesn't look particularly pleasant to watch football in with these conditions. It's pouring down with rain. We've got snow on the pitch. I imagine it's freezing cold, but there's no excuses for the locals not turning up. It's Manchester United that are here. Rashford trying to keep the ball in on that left-hand side. It was a terrible pass from Maguire. And now Shakhtar are in, and it goes just over from their chance. If we can just survive this match and not lose it, I'll consider that a result for today. I've changed my thoughts on things completely and wish I'd have brought the youth team and just put it all on us to win in the second leg. Edouard's in again. Their keeper does really rather well there to keep the ball out. Edouard probably should have been a little bit sharper to react to that, but it's Olmo to take the corner. Corner does come across. Olmo should be used to playing in these kind of conditions, because I think he's been hanging out in Eastern Europe for the last several years, which is why we got him so cheap. Big ball forward from De Gea. Rashford flicks on. Edouard looking to chase but can't quite get there, and it's Shakhtar again looking to get a counter-attack going, and that is a lovely pass, and they are in, and De Gea does brilliantly to save, and Diaz clears. But yeah, this has been far more even, far more end-to-end than I hoped it would be. We have been the better team, but not by as much as I would have expected. Dani Olmo has been playing for Dynamo. There you go. Okay, Croatia isn't quite the Ukraine weather-wise, is it? I hear parts of Croatia can get quite warm. Right, let's... Shakhtar's Ukraine, isn't it? Or is it? My geography's not what it could be, boys and girls. Right, it's still 0-0. Barcelona are beating Liverpool 2-0 now, which is lovely to see. I am fully in character as a Manchester United, I won't say fan, but manager now. And it's a free kick on the edge of the area for Shakhtar. This could be disastrous if this goes in. And it's gone in, and we're 1-0 down. And everything I've just said, I might be looking silly, but it's not my fault. I said it 10 minutes in, it was the wrong system to come here and play. And I do think we'll be able to turn it around in the second leg. It would be nice to get a goal. We're going to bring Everton on, but we're not going to play him up front. We're going to put Rashford up front. And we are almost not played well at all today either. I'm tempted to do a triple substitution here. Let's get Eriksen on as well. And I'm also going to take off Gnabry and bring on Jadon Sancho. And are they better swapped over that way round? No, they're probably not. But completely mix up the front line. It's too late now to change the system. It's 20 minutes left. I've made 3 substitutions. It's too late to change anything. Let's just carry on trying to tiki-taka. Everton charging through. He's already scored a wonder goal like this for us already. He's in and just over, and probably should have looked to play Rashford in there. Rashford was in a position where he could have scored if he'd been given the ball. But it's Shakhtar coming down this left-hand side again. Gaia intercepts, and there's Everton beating his man again. And Everton is in again and shoots wide again. At least he's doing something, which nobody else really was. But what he's doing isn't proving to be particularly effective. He's dancing past players and then shooting from angles and distances that aren't ever really going to threaten. And that's not ideal. There's less than 10,000 people here for this game. We've had 2,000 Man United fans nearly travel to Shakhtar. Is Shakhtar a place, or is that the name of the club? It's Shakhtar Donetsk. I thought, is Donetsk the place? Is that the same club, or am I thinking of somebody else? Anyway, there's been, 20% of the fans here are United fans, and the stadium's empty. Where is everybody? Do the locals not like the cold? We've lost out on the ball again here, and I shouldn't be playing tiki-taka. I know this. Rashford intercepts, keeper's out of position, Rashford is in, and Rashford scores, and that is an incredibly important away goal. It's a 15th goal of the season for Marcus Rashford. He's only just behind Harry Kane in our goal scoring charts. I've had a couple of people, when they've been moaning about me not using the players United fans love in real life, I've had a few people say that I'm not positive enough about Marcus Rashford. I love Marcus Rashford. Of all the players who were here when we started things off, Rashford is an incredible incredibly important part of this team. And he's shown why again there. He can play up front. He can play as the inside forward. He's keeping the likes of Sancho and Everton out of the team. Yeah, Rashford is a superstar. So I don't, if I've not been positive enough about him, there you go. I just have been. And that away goal is massive. 1-1 from this leg. I said I'll be happy with a draw. I'm even happier with a score draw, assuming we don't concede again, because a score draw means that we're in a really strong position. I would say almost in control of the tie coming back to our place, because we've got an away goal. And it's going to be far more comfortable playing conditions back in Manchester. I'll consider that job done. Right, let's go and play Manchester City. They still haven't fixed this thing where you have to scroll this screen, and it's really annoying. I'm going to play City in the Carabao Cup Final. Tomorrow's episode, by the way, is also going to be Shakhtar and City, but this time City in the league. But let's go play the Carabao Cup Final and try and win another trophy. So, pack suitably shuffled for the Manchester United game. We've got Martinez and Turanzebe coming in at centre-back. Eriksen comes in central midfield alongside Kessie. Sancho coming in on the right-hand side of midfield, just really to keep things fresh. Use your words, Kev, use your words. Look at the state of that bench, by the way. We have such a good squad now. I'm so happy with this squad. The one worry I've got going into this game is how seriously are Manchester City going to be taking this game. Looking at their team, quite seriously, that looks like quite a good side. I'm glad we didn't. I mean, we've done a rotated team, heavily rotated team, all the way through this tournament, and I'm glad we haven't today. Right, I've learned in final games, don't say you expect to win the trophy. Come on, lads, show me what you can do to keep our run going. Can we do that passionately? We can. There we go. That might be a little bit better. But my concern was, for a final, do we do the tiki-taka or do we do the counter-attacking system? Because the counter-attacking system, obviously, if we were playing this at the Etihad, we would be doing the 5 at the back counter-attacking system against a team like Manchester City. And we've done it against them, and it's been successful. But this is a Wembley final, and I don't know if I can bring myself to go into a Wembley final counter-attacking. Certainly not a domestic final. Maybe if it was the Champions League final and it was Barcelona or somebody, then maybe. But it's Manchester City. I feel like we should be able to go toe-to-toe with Manchester City and just outplay them. But they have already got the ball in the back of the net early on. It was disallowed thanks to the little telly, but that doesn't bode particularly well. The fact that they've had the better of the chances early on. And also, 20 minutes in, or in fact, 22 minutes in, we've now started to control possession. But for the first 15, 20 minutes or so, possession was fairly even. We hadn't really had a shot. We're struggling to get going in this game. But there's Olmo, who just feinted and missed his man brilliantly there, and played Sancho in. And Sancho with the opportunity to score against his former club. And Rashford shoots just wide as well. But we came alive a little bit there, just for a moment. But now it's City attacking us again. Turanzebe in with a very strong tackle that looks like he's going to get a booking for, actually. I mean, he clearly... What just happened? He won the ball. Oh, no. I mean, we have got Harry Maguire on the bench. But no. You know how useless I am when we go down to 10 men. Right, we are going to change to this system. Not with Rashford at the back. I don't know why it's put Rashford at the back. Right. Let's just shuffle. Lots of shuffling. I don't know what to do. Right. Eriksen's going to come off for Maguire. And we're going to just shuffle to that. So this is on our counter-attacking system. Is that too attacking? Should we have an extra man in midfield and should we go narrow? in which case we don't want to take Eriksen off because he could be the man in midfield. We could potentially have 3 across midfield, 1 behind. That's probably more sensible, isn't it? But then we have to lose Rashford and Sancho. Well, I suppose we could stick Sancho in there. Hold on. Go back. Go back. Go back. Keep going back. Okay. Fluid counter-attack. So, Sancho in there. Eriksen in a midfield 3. Do we want Eriksen? No. No. Oh, I don't want Eriksen and Olmo as part of a midfield 3. Do I? I want Paul Pogba in there. But then that's an extra substitution. Rashford looks like he's the one who's going to be coming off. So Maguire comes on for Rashford. And then we stick with that for a little while. I think. I don't really want 2 playmakers. What I want, and I can't believe I'm saying these words, what I want is McTominay in there as a ball-winning midfielder in the middle there, and then Pogba as a box-to-box midfielder. This is all a bit too... You do that. Okay. That might work. As long as they don't score from the free kick. And now Wan-Bissaka's injured. We do have Dalot on the bench, but that's not really a substitution I want to be having to make, but I think it's one we are going to have to make at half-time. Changing the right back when we're faffing around with a system like this really isn't ideal, though. We're a man down, but we can still get a result here. We are going to take off Wan-Bissaka because I don't want to risk him getting injured. Dalot can come on at right back. And then, I mean, we've got Pogba, Haaland, Gnabry and Everton all as the one final option to bring on if we need to go chase a goal. We've got a lot of quality on the bench there. I didn't want to have to bring Dalot and Maguire on. But I have. And now we're just going to monitor things. Edouard's having a terrible game. Is this Haaland's time to shine? I'm almost tempted to bring him on with like 25 minutes to go. Just for the comments section. A little treat for the comments section. Bring on Erling Haaland to try and win us the Carabao Cup. Because Edouard's having a really poor game. But then he is completely isolated, and Sancho's not playing well either because he's playing out of position. But I feel like that's one for the comments section. Get him to his pressing forward role that he likes. Sancho's not having a very lovely day, is he? Paul Pogba is absolutely astounded that he's not been brought on in this situation. But here we go. Let's see if I was wrong about Erling Haaland. He's got 25 minutes to, whilst playing up front on his own in an unfamiliar system that's not attack focused at all, to try and win us a cup. This could be, it's make or break for Erling Haaland. If he manages to do it, then you lot were all right. If he doesn't, then I was right. I've stacked the cards well in my own favour here. I'm either right or we win the Carabao Cup. Either way, I'm happy. Kessie. By the way, I have decided to just call him Kessie after the absolute shambles of the last couple of days of trying to say his name. Because half of you are saying he's just Kessie anyway. So it's Kessie, and you'll either like it or, I mean, you can correct it in your own head as I say it. As you see him having the ball, just shout his name however you think it should be pronounced, and you won't even hear me say it wrong. Do we get to make a 4th substitution at the start of extra time? Eriksen needs to ease off his tackles. Kessie then, from relatively deep. That's a terrible shot. He had so many other options around him. 4 minutes time added on. We've done incredibly well to get to this stage of the game, by the way, with 10 men. And now, hopefully, we do get to make another change and I can get Pogba on. Right, okay. We've got Pogba on. So Pogba is now going to be... I want Pogba as my box-to-box midfielder. I like Pogba as a box-to-box midfielder. So Kessie is now going to become a ball-winning midfielder. This is now the midfield I wanted. Although, ideally, Jadon Sancho wouldn't be in it. But needs must. How badly was Eriksen actually playing? Not particularly badly. I've taken him off because he was booked. But then so's Sancho. Would we be better off? I think we might even... Can we go back? How do we... Where's the... I can't see it because my bottle of water's in the way. Go back. I'm going to stick Eriksen further forward and take Sancho off for Pogba. That probably makes more sense, doesn't it? So now we do the same. The rest of the midfield stays the same. Okay. Dressing room. Everyone dig in. Pogba coming on at the start of extra time. That's a nice situation to be in. I would like to be able to bring on Gnabry and Everton as well. But why have we couldn't see Mendy as he takes that free kick? Because the camera was in such a poor position. Yikes. Just firing wide from Manchester City on their little counter-attack here. I'm happy to roll the dice with penalties in this situation because I think it's the most likely way for us to get a goal. Haaland not getting it done on the grand stage. Shall we switch up his player instruction? I know he wants to be a pressing forward, but pressing forward doesn't really fit into the system we're using. So let's say be an attacking forward and see if that makes a difference. He's got 15 minutes playing in a role more suited to this tactic. Let's see if that works for him. Oh, City are their shooting is terrible today. We have been let off the hook multiple times in what has been a very even game. Tuanzebe has absolutely left us in the lurch in it, but it looks like we are going to penalties. Auto pick. Wow. There you go. Will we actually get to see him score a goal as part of a penalty shootout? What a way to do a Carabao Cup final. We've just both been too afraid to win the game. So it's Aguero against De Gea, and it's 1-0 to City. And now we have pressure on Kessie. This is where we need Harry Kane, but he's still unavailable through to injury. Kane, I hear, hits a decent penalty. Kessie, on the other hand, doesn't, and it's still 1-0. Fernandinho stepping up for Manchester City. This feels like a David De Gea moment. David De Gea, I know. It is a De Gea moment. You can smell them when they're arriving. It's Pogba now. Our captain, our leader, our inspiration. Paul Pogba steps up and scores. And it's 1-1. 3 penalties each remaining. And it's Bernardo for City. This is Haaland's taking his in a minute. So again, pressure on him, especially now Bernardo has scored for City, and here is Haaland. Can he score a goal wearing a Manchester United shirt? Oh, he's going to take it with his... Oh, blimey. He hits that hard, doesn't he? Perhaps I'll give him a few more games. Stones now for City. Again, this feels like a De Gea moment. Stones, he's a centre-back. Save the pen. You know, you can smell a De Gea moment when it approaches you. Eriksen now on the pitch due to a last-minute change of heart. Can he justify it? Would Sancho have scored? Eriksen did, so it doesn't matter what Sancho would have done because Eriksen has scored, and now we're on to the final penalty each. We're leading 3-2, and if we can have another De Gea moment here, then we win. I don't know who's taking the Laporte. Is it Laporte? He's a defender. I think another De Gea moment is coming. We might be about to win the Carabao Cup, all thanks to David De Gea. Laporte steps up and scores. So now I don't remember who our 5th penalty taker was. Rashford's not on the pitch anymore, is he? He would have been the obvious one. Who's taking our final penalty? I should not have auto-picked this. This is too much pressure. Olmo. Okay, he's been a superstar since arriving, although you've not really seen it in this episode. He was really good in the in-betweeny bits. Olmo steps up to win the Carabao Cup for Manchester United, and he does. We have another piece of silverware, boys and girls. We've got to be quite happy with that, haven't we? Down to 10 men from 25 minutes in. We managed to switch things up, go super defensive, and just grind it out to the penalty shootout and win. Jose Mourinho would have been proud of that performance. And you know what? I'm pretty proud of that performance too, because even a week ago, I don't think I'd have done that. I'm always learning and developing as a football manager player, and we have a nice little trophy to demonstrate that fact. And we've qualified for the Europa Cup too. Wow. So, as I've already said, tomorrow we do it all again. Shakhtar and Manchester City again, second leg, where hopefully we'll score a few more goals, and City at home in the league, where hopefully we extend our lead atop the Premier League. I still fully hope and expect we've got an FA Cup, a Premier League and a Champions League win still to come this season. I want trophies. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.